All right. I think we're back.
Wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
Why didn't that play at the beginning of the show versus...
I don't know. Jack, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Yeah, the thing's messed up again.
Yeah.
What did you do, Jack? You messed it up.
I didn't touch it.
You know, that's because if Jack was here, we'd blame. I swear to God, we'd blame him. You know, the one time he leaned over this thing and he took the whole
It's always
stadium
my fault.
out.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
It's like we blame you, Tim, when you're not there.
Yeah, right.
Hey, did you sell my lot yet?
Not yet.
Come on.
So, hey, I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun.
Love you.
All right. That was Jack's phone call.
He might be aggravated.
He's at some family reunion.
Is he?
So, Mark.
Yes.
What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, doing great, Tim. Great to be here today.
Mark's kind of like a regular on the show.
Yeah, once a month at least. Yeah, pretty good.
Mark does mortgages. He does them here and in Chicago, right?
Well, I do. I'm licensed in 10 states actually.
Oh, wow.
So I can do a lot. Most all of the Midwest, of course, Florida here, Texas, and then Colorado are other states. Just because a lot of people move to Texas and Colorado, so figured I'd have them all covered.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to Texas. Holy cow! My son's in Texas.
My daughter lives in Austin.
Does she?
She's been there for a number of years. Yeah.
I like Austin.
Yeah, it's in fact we're going to go there for Thanksgiving. Family just decided Thanksgiving's in Austin this year.
Great place. There's a jazz bar there I go to once in a while.
Okay, yeah, a lot of good barbecue places, all sorts of stuff.
It's called the White Elephant. Good, really cool place. You go down and it's like an old, from the Civil War. It's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Almost like a speakeasy?
No, maybe a little bit, but it's cool. Low ceilings. It's a jazz bar. I like going to jazz bars once in a while.
My sister lives in Little Elm, Texas.
Yeah.
Which is just like a suburb of Dallas.
Yeah.
The traffic there is worse than Chicago.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Dallas is stupid traffic.
Yeah.
She lives in probably about a, $800,000 house. They get realtors coming to they actually come to the house and say, I can get you $1.5 million for your house right now. But there's no place for them to go to replace the same house that they're in.
Right.
Because the growth down there is ridiculous.
Yeah, my son's he was in the military, so I met some little girl, and so obviously he's staying there. You know how that goes. But he lives in Kingsland, and that's where they filmed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Really?
Oh wow!
So they made the house into a bar, and so you go up on the patio and stuff. They got little, fake chainsaws. So you can take pictures. So it's cool, man. It's a bar.
Neat. Yeah, Texas got my son because
Called
of the
Hoopers.
military.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
And so we ended up for several years at Christmas time going to just north of Dallas. And
what branch?
It was so cold. Navy.
Navy? Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'd go to take my dogs for a walk. They were born and raised in Florida, little Shih Tzus, right?
Yeah.
I'd go to take them for a walk, and they'd walk out into the driveway and turn around
And walk back in.
walk back
Yeah,
in.
we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's been in the hundreds there all week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's been hot.
Yeah, big difference between summer and winter there.
Yeah.
It's a dry heat, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I was doing work at my son's house, and you got to do it. You got to be done before noon because as soon as noon hits, I mean the heat is just unbelievable.
I think the heat's the same here. It just feels just as hot to me.
Right.
You stand out with the sun on your back at 2:00 in the afternoon, and you swear you're going to catch on fire.
Yeah, it's hot here too. So what's going on, guys? How's business? I mean, is the market good? What are we doing?
Well, I just did a couple of blog posts last night about the market. And I found out something. I should have ran this report earlier. I ran it for Charlotte County and Inglewood. That's one blog post. And then another blog post is Sarasota County and Venice, just for kind of like comparables. And, the people that I see online that are saying Charlotte County is basically falling off a cliff, the stats do not support that. I mean, Charlotte County, according to what Stellar MLS, which is the local MLS for this area and has most of the data out there that's available, it says that it's actually doing quite well. And Venice, 12 months in a row, the year-over-year sales, there were more sales in 2026 than there were in 2025.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I saw in the Real Estate Association of Sarasota and Manatee. They threw out those stats, and they said sales were higher this year compared to last year, both in Sarasota County and Manatee County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's positive.
Yeah, so if you like stats, if I can do this plug, go to sliceofflorida.com, click on the blog tab, and I've actually have the images of, the charts and then with an overview that, I use Grok a lot, so me and Grok kind of put this together, and you can get an overview of Charlotte County and Sarasota County.
I'm kind of getting addicted to that ChatGPT.
Yes.
Use it for everything.
Everything. I needed to know how much dirt I needed for those pots that we brought down from, it's that long story, right? So I took a tape measure and I put it to the bottom of the pot where the stone was, and then the width, and asked it how much dirt I need. It got it down to the bag. I mean, it was perfect.
Wow.
It allowed for the plants, and I took pictures of the plants that we were planting, and it told me exactly how much dirt I needed.
I had problems with these windows. I didn't know if they were impact or not. There's nothing on them. I've never heard of the brand. Took a photo of it. Asked, hey, are these impact? They gave me the whole rundown.
Yeah.
It was great, man. I was just like, wow.
You got to be careful, I guess, with some of it because, some of the information can be wrong.
Yeah, it can't be 100%.
So far, it's been pretty good.
But so far, man, it's right on the money for me. I love it.
Makes you smarter than what you really are, right?
10-4 on that, buddy. Holy cow. Get in a fight with your wife and say, hey, what should I do?
Tells you to run
for 2 days.
Use wife away.
Yeah, wife away.
Spray a little wife away on it. It'll go away without a problem. Thank you.
Yeah, the advice isn't always really good, though. I have a customer right now. She's her and her husband are under contract to purchase something now. But as we were getting ready to draft the contract, she uses Grok all the time, too, so we're always talking about it. And she decided to ask Grok how Grok would advise her to draft the offer. And she was smart enough to know that this was ridiculously wrong.
Yeah.
But, she said, I don't even know if I should tell you, what came up. And I said, do it. Let me know.
Yeah, hit me. Tell me.
And so you definitely need to be careful. And that's just for writing an offer, but for so many things.
Yeah.
It still doesn't replace common sense.
Right. Hey, Mark, how's that going with the Heroes?
Yeah, I've got a great example. So I did close the deal right after the Hometown Heroes came out. And the Hometown Heroes, if the listeners recall, is up to $35,000 in down payment assistance for first-time buyers. If you're in a certain occupation or certain industry, you qualify for this. There's income limits, so you can't earn a certain amount of income, but the income limits are very high, so it makes it pretty easy for most people to qualify. This particular deal was, gentleman came to me, he's a deputy in Manatee County, so he qualifies for the program, and he had about $4,000 worth of cash to get into a house. Well, as you know, Steve, that's not going to be really enough, right? No. He's trying to buy something for $300,000, right? Mm-hmm. And with the credit profile, we had to go FHA, so it's 3.5%. So that's $10,500. He's got $4,000.
Right.
It's like, all right, he's not going to make it.
The math ain't mathin'.
It's the math ain't mathin'. So what we ended up doing, though, is for a $300,000 price, he was getting about $14,600 or so in assistance. So we're like, okay, cool. We got down payment covered, but do we have closing costs covered? Not really. We don't. So what we did is I talked to the real estate agent. We negotiated closing costs to pretty much be covered by the seller. The seller was happy about that. Here's the tricky part, and this is where the real estate agents will get
landscapers are here, by the way.
Little idea is the seller only wanted to pay a 2% commission to the buyer's agent. Buyer's agent was looking for 3%. He kind of had a deal with the buyer that the buyer is going to make up the 1%. But then again, how much money did he have? He had like $4,000, right? So the way the deal worked out with the closing cost credit and the down payment assistance from Hometown Heroes, he had $4,000 to put into the property. We renegotiated things and lowered the credit so the 3% commission could be paid to the agent. So the agent was happy. Mm-hmm. The borrower didn't have to dip into his pocket to pay that. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, he got into his $300,000 house for $1,500.
Wow.
That's the way I worked the numbers.
That's beautiful.
So, those are the type of things that if you talk to somebody,
a professional,
you can figure it out.
Yeah.
So not only did we not spend his full $4,000 and lift them with nothing in the house, mm-hmm. He has $2,500 now as a cushion, and he got into the house. That guy is so happy.
And that's a big deal, man. My son had a similar thing with the VA loan. He had $1,500 to buy a couch. He was happier than you know what. That's cool.
So that's the beauty of those programs, and it just says, hey, you got to talk to somebody.
And they're real, and you can get them done.
We just got to gather the facts, and if they're not on the pathway right then, we put them on the pathway. And this guy, it took him 6 months because he had to fix a few things. But now he's in his
but that's
house
what's
and
nice
he loves it.
about calling you. You can work with them and say, hey, you need to do this, this, and this. And boom, you got him a house.
And that's the difference than just kind of cold calling or doing some of the major companies, and calling an 800 number and trying to get some help with a mortgage.
Yeah.
You really need to talk to somebody.
I always wondered how those companies do that. Like all those internet companies. I mean, you got to be talking to someone different every time.
Yeah, I think
You don't go, hey, is Mark there?
you miss out when you can't sit across the desk from somebody. I think you really miss out.
Yeah.
Not like you always have to be
Or a
able
personal
to.
phone call.
Yeah.
Especially when you're spending that much money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're spending that much money, no matter what, you're spending $200,000 or
Yeah.
$1 million, it's better to sit with somebody versus talk to somebody over the phone.
Well, yeah. And if you signed a lease today, you should probably be calling your lender or your favorite real estate professional tomorrow to start planning for the year it's going to take for you to be ready to not have to sign another
year.
lease
Yeah.
in a year from now.
That's good advice.
That is a great point because a lot of times people call me and they're a month away from signing the new lease and they're just calling me a month away. It's like,
call when you sign the lease.
Because even if I worked fast and said, yeah, you can do
You're
it.
not going to get
How are you going to go under contract and find the right house, go under contract and close within 30 days? I mean, it can be done, but it's very difficult. You got to start.
It's also stressful when you're trying to do that. Like the reason why I do my blogs and my podcasts are to speak to buyers and sellers who might buy and sell a couple of houses throughout the year. I mean, throughout their life, and you don't know what you don't know. Right?
Yeah.
So that you need information. And if you can take the time, like people call me and they say that we're thinking about moving to Florida in a couple of years. And I say, oh, this is perfect. I'm so glad you called me now. We've got plenty of time to get you educated on how things work in Florida, which is quite a bit different than where you're coming from.
Yes, it is. Even with inspections, it is.
It is. Right. I mean, I've got podcasts about inspections, and now that I know you, Tim, I'm sure that we will be doing some as well.
And it took me about a year to get my head around having an electrical box outside. I just couldn't get my head around that.
Yeah.
No, they just paid the bill here.
I think, the power just went back.
Yeah, ComEd just switched. No, but that's really good advice about sign your lease, then go talk to your real estate people and your mortgage guy. That's great advice.
Yeah, start planning. And I love the story that you just said about the $1,500 to get into the house, and the Hometown Heroes program is amazing.
Is there still money left for that?
So the last I looked, it was earlier in the week. They started out with $50 million. They're down to 35. Okay. Now, it might be a little bit less now, but usually it gets drawn really fast as soon as the program opens because people are kind of on deck, sort of waiting for it. I'm guessing it's probably going to last till about December. We'll see. They had about the same amount last year.
Yeah.
And then sort of in December, they started holding back. And then lenders are in a spot where we have to reserve the money for the borrower when the transaction comes in, and we have to deliver that loan in a certain number of days. So you're kind of playing, hey, when can I reserve? But I don't want to run out of money. So you're kind of trying to play that game. But lenders will do that for you. So I think it'll go through December, and it's a great program. The other good part of that program is in Florida, you have to pay a tax on the mortgage. The dollar amount of the mortgage you take, you're paying a tax to the state of Florida. It's like a transfer tax for the most part, and there's an intangible tax as well.
What is it, like 0.5% or something?
0.035?
There's a 0.35 and a 0.20, so together they're 0.55 when you think of it. Now, it's based on the loan amount, so 0.55% of the loan amount, a little over 0.5%. But in the Hometown Heroes, that they're exempt from having to pay that tax. So that reduces their costs as well.
Oh, man,
so
that's
it's nice
cool.
with that program because if you don't use the program, you're paying that tax, right? But if you're in that program, that's relief too. So between the money that you get from the assistance that you can cover closing costs, now your closing costs are reduced. I mean, I don't know how there are more people looking into that program.
Steve, any of your people use those?
So unfortunately for me, everybody that I've had who would have qualified for the Hometown Heroes, they already owned a home and they were trying to just like sell and buy another one. And you cannot have owned a home for the last 3 years. However, there's other programs out there. And this is why I always tell people, sit down with a lender. They want to ask me all these questions. Like, I don't know what current programs there are, right? I'm not a lender.
I get you going, but you need to sit down with someone in that field.
And my very first podcast episode, I launched it with this young couple. I think she was 21 and he was 25. And I just put them into a house. And they did not believe that there was any chance of them getting a house because they only had $2,000 and it cost them less than $2,000 to get into that house.
Seriously?
Now, seriously. We used a USDA program, so I put them into a 100% financing situation in a neighborhood they wanted to live in, and all they had, and then we got all the fees, professional fees and all that rolled into the mortgage, and everything else was just like they had to pay for the appraisal, they had to pay for the inspection. And that was really about it.
Boy, anytime I ever bought anything, I was 20% down.
Yeah.
Always. I never got, hey, come on, you're 3% down.
People don't know what they don't know. And you've got all these people renting who think they're never going to be able to buy a house.
That's what I'm saying. Talk to a lender. I'm telling you, you can.
I had this one woman, I knew her at the credit union that I was at, and I'd see her all the time in there. And in a credit union where she could get a loan from a credit union, or she'd get a mortgage from a credit union. And she was living in Bird Bay, which is in Venice, and it's all manufactured homes. And her husband did not believe there was any chance of them being able to buy a house. And I kept saying, please, let's have the conversation. And so finally, she believed me that, there was a possibility. She goes in to talk with her lender. Her lender can't do it at the bank she's at. And I said, please go talk to this other person because I've done this with this person before. Okay.
Yeah. I always prefer a broker.
Yeah. So
never going to.
She sits down with them. We end up getting them into this house. Now, this is early 2021. What happened at the end of 2021? Wasn't that Ian?
Yeah.
Okay. So Hurricane Ian happens. They're in this block construction house and they're safe. Hurricane ends. They drive by their old place. The roof was gone.
Wow. See, there you go.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am their hero. But all I did was say, please, let's have the conversation. Let's see what's possible.
Like Jack. Jack has a great story. This girl that works for him.
Yeah.
She was in a trailer in a trailer park. Okay. And I think it took a full year, but Jack got her into a house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just by hey, do this, and this. Don't go buying anything.
And it's a long haul sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, people have to stick to it.
But dude, you get there,
it's
man.
Not easy, but you can get there if you're shown the path.
Yeah.
People
when
don't
you're
know the
renting
path.
something right now, isn't rent just as expensive right now as having a mortgage?
I would think.
In reality?
Yeah, you're pushing $3,000 a month for like a 3-bedroom.
Man, if you can do $3,000 a month, you can buy a house.
You can buy a house for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I see all kinds of deals out there. You can buy a house. So, Mark, how do people get a hold of you?
So it's really easy. I mean, they dial me direct. That number is 630-660-6509. Also on Instagram, Mark Rego Mortgages. You can find me there. I work for the Money Store. So the Money Store is located at 115 North Tamiami Trail in Nokomis. It's right next to Jack's place, and they can easily find me there.
And
nice.
Then they can go to the beach.
Then they
can go to the beach. Yeah, perfect.
So you're listening to House Talk. We're here every Saturday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. I'm your host, Tim Kerfin from Kerfin Inspections, KERFIN Inspections.com. Steve?
Oh, yeah. I'm Steve Martin Smith. I'm the broker owner for Slice of Florida Realty, and you can find out a whole lot about us at sliceofflorida.com.
Mr. Fun, intercoastaladventures.com. Become the captain of your own adventure.
Hey, I wish we had walking like an Egyptian or something, because every time I think of Steve Martin, I think of the jerk.
Pops in your head.
I think of the jerk or King Tut.
Yeah,
the jerk was a great flick.
And him and the Martin Short commercials he does.
Yeah, with the visas, yeah.
I've had so many people, I do it old school with my customers, like my buyers. I will put them in my vehicle with me and we will drive around.
Yeah, that is old school.
We will learn neighborhoods, and we'll have a lot of great conversation. That's how I really get to know my buyers so that I know what's going to fit their
blowing
lifestyle.
Red lights and stuff. You're going to buy off me or not?
Yeah, no pressure. But I have so many that just want to go down the rabbit hole of Steve Martin comedy, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the jerk was a great flick. Matter of fact, I think I might watch that tomorrow.
Well, if you listen to the Let's Get Small album, which I know it's on Pandora, I don't know where else it is out there. unless they've censored it. That whole monologue that he does at the very beginning, when he's like leaning up against the building, sitting on the sidewalk, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
On the actual album.
I have to check it out.
I was listening to that, when it first came out in the 70s.
But one thing about that, your name, I mean, people aren't going to forget that.
Yeah, the whole Steve Martin thing really works for me.
Yeah.
And I started using because Martin's my middle name, right? And I started using it when I got into real estate, because at that time I decided to Google it. Didn't have Grok to talk to at the time. And I found out there was about 1,800 Steve Smiths in one version or another.
On your block, I'm thinking.
No, in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. And 32 of them were on Realtor.com. So I'm going into an industry that I could easily get confused with if I just went by Steve Smith. So at that moment, I just made the call. Everything I do in writing or in conversation is Steve Martin Smith. And most people think my last name is Martin. They just call me Steve Martin. They call my wife Mrs. Martin. She doesn't care. She just wants to be called.
Yeah. Whatever. Let's just do business.
Yeah.
I agree. So, yeah, but anyways, we're gonna take a break here in about 40 seconds. We'll see if this happens. I don't know.
Well, let's see if we can get more people to subscribe to RadioHouseTalk.com.
Yes, definitely.
Let's go for that.
Yeah, it's
we want a live stream, so let's get that rolling.
The show gets posted every week. You can see us. See how silly this whole thing is.
RadioHouseTalk.com. RadioHouseTalk.com.
Especially the stuff that's in between when the commercials are on. That's when it really gets kind of fun.
Yeah, it gets a little, yeah.
Because Timmy starts swearing and, Mark's running around. It's just craziness.
Lampshades on her head.
We're wearing Hammond Indian and Bear hats.
That's really...
Okay, so everything we do when we're off air is actually going to be on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, everything.
You should... Is that part of the initiation for the new guy? Don't tell him that?